Air New Zealand to install world-first frugality bunk beds on long-haul breakouts. By 2024, passengers will be suitable to bespeak 4-hour sessions in flat resting capsules on ultra-long-haul routes. Air New Zealand will soon allow frugality passengers to lie down and take a nap in a collaborative, bunk bed-style sleeping capsules on its airplanes, as it attempts to allure passengers onto its further than 17-hour ultra-long-haul breakouts. In what the airline says will be a world first when its new cabins are installed by 2024, decoration and regular frugality passengers will still be vented traditional seats that don't slope into a bed. Still, these passengers will be suitable to bespeak 4-hour sessions in teradiddle flat resting capsules, which the airline has named Skynet, at a fresh cost. Capsules will have a mattress and waists, which will be changed by the cabin crew after each booking, and will be piled on top of each other to take advantage of the height of the cabin. Each cover will have a sequestration curtain, USB charging, and ventilation outlets. 5 frugality seats will be removed to make space to install 6 of the Skynet capsules across 8 Boeing 787-9 Dreamliners that Air New Zealand will admit from the end of 2024. The sleeping capsules won't be available for the launch of Air New Zealand's direct breakouts between Auckland and New York this September, a route that's set to exceed 17 hours. The airline will also renew its Auckland to Chicago service in October. An Air New Zealand spokesman told The Guardian that while the booking cost for a 4-hour session in one of the beds has not yet been determined, it'll only be open to regular and ultra-expensive frugality passengers. Passengers will only be suitable to bespeak 1 session in a cover per flight, as demand from the further than 200 seats across the frugality cabin is anticipated to be strong. The spokesman said the sleeping capsules will be limited to 1 person at a time. The airline is developing a booking system for the capsules. Greg Foran, Air New Zealand's principal superintendent, said the bunk-style beds will be a real game-changer for the frugality trip experience. New Zealand's position puts us in a unique position to lead on the ultra-long-haul trip experience. We've zeroed in on sleep, comfort, and hardiness because we know how important it's for our guests to arrive well-rested, Foran said. Whether they're heading straight into a meeting, or to their first vacation hotspot, they want to hit the ground handling. Leanne Garrity, the airline's principal client and deals officer, said exploration shows us the first night down from home is the hardest to get a good night's sleep, so everything we do on board is to help produce a sense of calm, from the lighting and sleep ritual including sleepy teas and redolenzas to the healthier food choices and permeable fabrics. Air New Zealand's plans for the sleeping capsules come amid a torrent of recent developments in the drive toward ultra-long-haul breakouts between the region and the eastern seacoast of the United States and Europe. In May, Australia's Qantas unveiled further details of its long-awaited plans to run non-stop breakouts from Sydney and Melbourne to London and New York. The so-called Project Sunrise breakouts, some of which will run 20 hours, will begin flying at the end of 2025. For its ultra-long-haul breakouts, Qantas has blazoned good zones for frugal passengers to move about and stretch. Air New Zealand also blazoned analogous style care stations for all passengers in its new cabin designs on Wednesday. The airline first blazoned plans for beds for frugality passengers in 2020, and formerly offers Sky Couch, where a family of passengers who has reserved a row of seats in frugality or has spare seats next to them, can request special footrests that turn the row into a new bed. We have a small favor to ask. Millions are turning to The Guardian for open, independent, quality news every day, and compendiums in 180 countries around the world now support us financially. We believe everyone deserves access to information that's predicated on wisdom and verity, and analysis embedded in authority and integrity. That's why we made a different choice to keep our reporting open for all compendiums, anyhow of where they live or what they can go to pay. This means further people can be better informed, united, and inspired to take meaningful action. In these dangerous times, a verity-seeking global news association like The Guardian is essential. We've no shareholders or billionaire possessors, meaning our journalism is free from marketable and political influence. This makes us different. When it's no way been more important, our independence allows us to valorously probe, challenge, and expose those in power. Support The Guardian from as little as $1, it only takes a minute. However, please consider supporting us with a regular quantum each month, if you can. Thank you. SAS agreement extended, breakouts to run is listed. Marathon agreement between Scandinavian Airlines SAS and its aviators was extended during the night by at least 3 days, delaying a Harvard strike until Saturday, July 2. All SAS breakouts were therefore due to operating as listed on Wednesday, important to the relief of anxious passengers. There are complex questions that should be resolved, Norway's state middleman Mats Wilhelm Ruland told journalists gathered outside the scene of the delicate addresses in Stockholm late Tuesday night. We're working intensively to find a result. These are all professional mates. The leader of SAS Accommodations Platoon, Marianne Hearns, said that the agreement in Norway would continue for another 3 days. These are serious issues for SAS and for its guests, Hearns said. The Norwegian aviators unions in Norway had formerly advised it would pull nearly 900 aviators off the job, just as the busy summer vacation season is beginning. That would spoil trip plans for an estimated 000 passengers every day. SAS aviators in Scandinavia don't like how the airline's operation has resolved up the company into new operating units that have been hiring Scandinavian aviators willing to work for far lower pay and smaller benefits. They've been complaining since last time and were hanging to strike from night Tuesday, claiming Scandinavian plant principles are more important than their own jobs or the airline itself. We won't emulate the Scandinavian model to save a company, claimed the leader of SAS aviators in Norway, Roger Klokseth, on Tuesday autumn. Indeed, though he knows the aviators' strike can force the airline into ruin. Klokseth leads the Norwegian SAS Aviators Union NSF, and was in battle mode. We can't live with working for a company that doesn't bear itself, and that won't follow ethical guidelines and norms for how effects are done in Scandinavia, Klokseth told Norwegian Broadcasting NRK. SAS has advised that a strike would affect the cancellation of at least 76% of all SAS breakouts leaving Norway daily, and at least as numerous due to arrive in Norway. The strike sounded timed for maximum effect, beginning during the first week of the summer leaves when hundreds of thousands of Scandinavians are swarming to airfields to take off for long-awaited passages after the corona extremity. The aviators conceded that their strike can also peril their own jobs, but we won't emulate the Scandinavian model to save the company, Klokseth said. He and his associates are upset about how working conditions in the entire airline branch are under severe pressure. Job security for our unions, members is no longer tied to SAS as a company, given how SAS is run. Klokseth told NRK. It's tied to their experience and capability and that people must be suitable to fly from point A to point B in Scandinavia in the future, too. A strike would hit SAS hard, going up to 100 million Norwegian kroner a day, according to some judges. While aviators claim SAS' new operation is hiring new aviators at lower pay and new accessories SAS Link and SAS Connect, SAS operation claimed the aviators were trying to acquire prescription rights over how the company is run. SAS' new principal superintendent has also advised that the aviators can force the airline into ruin. 4 airman unions are involved in the accommodations and agreement, operating under the marquee union SAS Pilot Group SPG. Klokseth claimed he sympathized with all the people affected and how long planned passages and leaves may still be spoiled by a strike. I suppose about all the passengers hit by this at the launch of the first real summer leaves for 3 times, Klokseth claimed, but we suppose it's extremely distressing that SAS operation has put us in this situation. We don't want anything other than a result of this conflict. SAS operation has claimed much the same over the several months. The airline is trying to recover from 2 times of corona groundings. The airline's largest possessors continue to be the Swedish and Danish governments, which have offered varying degrees of fiscal support. Denmark has offered the most, not least since SAS is the major tenant and driver in Copenhagen's field. Norway ended out of SAS several times agone, and has turned down prayers to fit further fresh capital and come to a proprietor again. On Tuesday, still, the Norwegian government blazoned it would consider turning debt into equity, maybe leaving it with a powerful stake in the airline formerly again. Delta offers free flight changes over July 4th weekend ahead of possible functional challenges. Delta Airlines is allowing trippers to change their tickets for free during the busy 4th of July weekend, allowing flyers to avoid paying a chow difference and skip the field during a potentially grueling many days. The unusual offer, typically extended for bad rainfall and limited to certain airfields, comes as Delta and other airlines gear up for what could be the busiest trip period since before the COVID epidemic and scramble to keep a lid on elevated rates of flight detainments and cancellations. Delta trippers reserved July 14 can rebook their trip with no change figure or difference in chow, handed they keep the same origin and destination and take a new trip by July 8. The offer applies to all ticket classes, including the no-frills introductory frugality. Delta people are working around the timepiece to rebuild Delta's operation while making it as flexible as possible to minimize the ripple effect of dislocations, the carrier said late Tuesday. Indeed so, some functional challenges are anticipated this vacation weekend. This unique disclaimer is being issued to give Delta guests leisure and flexibility to plan around busy trip times, rainfall vaccinations, and other variables without fussing about an implicit cost to do so. Delta last month said it would cut about 100 breakouts a day from its schedule in July and part of August. United Airlines, JetBlue Airways, and Alaska Airlines have also trimmed their schedules in the expediency of perfecting trustability. Airlines have criticized the issues of bad rainfall, similar to showers, and staffing faults of air business regulators, though carriers have also been aggressively staffing up. The Federal Aviation Administration and Department of Transportation have criticized airlines planning for some of the detainments and cancellations, censuring the companies for encouraging workers to take an early withdrawal during the epidemic despite $54 billion in taxpayer aid set away for payrolls. A lot of people, including me, are waiting to get to love bones over this vacation weekend, and we need a system that's flexible enough to get them there, plus good client service when an issue does come up, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg said in an interview with NBC's Nightly News that ended Tuesday.